Good afternoon, students. So, as we were discussing about air pollution, so we come to know that what do you mean by air pollution? It is the contamination of the air due to harmful substances. Okay, it can be gaseous, it can be particulates or solid. Okay, so we all talked about greenhouse effects, greenhouse gases. So today we are going to talk about how air pollution can be controlled. Control and prevention of air pollution. Control and prevention of air pollution. So first one, to prevent the air pollution, the basic prevention is to plant the trees. Planting trees, because to reduce air pollution, trees helps by what? Consuming or capturing the carbon dioxide present in the atmosphere. So if you plant more trees, the amount of carbon dioxide will be less and air will be clean. Still, air pollutions can't be finished. It can only be controlled. Okay, we can only control, because with the growing population, with the development, with the establishment of the factories and industries, okay, more and more vehicles in the roads, okay, which exhaust more carbon dioxide from the vehicle. So completely finishing air pollution is not possible. So we can only prevent it, or we can only control it. Okay, so number one, by planting trees. Number two, okay, number two, less use of fossil fuel. That means less use of fossil fuel means use of petroleum, diesel, etc. Okay, instead we can go for alternative fuels like CNG, compressed natural gas, okay, battery operated vehicles, and CNG, battery operated vehicles, and also solar use. That means the use of sun, okay, by the use of sunlight, okay, it can be used. So instead we can apply this. Less use of fossil fuel, CNG, battery operated vehicles, and solar use must be applied. By replacing wood, coal, kerosene with LPG for domestic use. That means use of LPG, liquefied petroleum gas. Okay, liquefied petroleum gas instead of wood and coal. Okay, because wood and coal, when burnt, they release more carbon dioxide in the atmosphere. So instead of using that, we can use LPG. Number 4, we have by using better technology to control level of pollutants in the immersion. Same better technology like CNG, battery operated vehicles, and using solar batteries or solar operated cars or vehicles. And last one, planting trees. Okay, you can write alternative use of fossil fuel. So these are all the prevention or control of air pollution. Okay, number 1, planting trees. Number 2, less use of fossil fuel, that means less use of petrol, diesel, and other fuels which causes more pollution in the air. Use of LPG while cooking instead of using wood and coal. Alternative use of fossil fuel like CNG, battery operated vehicles and solar operated vehicles. So this was all about prevention and control of air pollution. So now we will discuss one of the most important, not important, the things apart which is related with air pollution. We have been discussing about acid rain. Okay, we have been discussing about acid rain. So what do you mean by acid rain? Does it rain? Does this acid rain? Or it is just for saying as it is a acid? Okay, so we will talk about acid rain. So what do you mean by acid rain? So let's see. So burning of coal, petroleum and diesel produce carbon dioxide, carbon monoxide, oxides of sulfur, oxides of nitrogen and unburned hydrocarbons. So burning of air pollution, that means air pollution is caused by oxides of OXIDES oxides. Okay, I'm still writing OX. Oxides of sulfur, nitrogen, sulfur, nitrogen, carbon dioxide, carbon monoxide. Okay, so air pollution is caused by oxides of carbon, oxides of sulfur, oxides of nitrogen, carbon dioxide, carbon monoxide, okay, which are produced through burning of fossil fuel, or burning of wood, or burning of charcoal, okay, coal especially. So when these oxides, they act as a pollutant in the air, okay, and when rainfall occurs, when rainfall occurs, as we all know, rain is the purest form of water, purest form of water, but when it comes down through the atmosphere from the clouds, okay, it gets mixed with this thing, it gets mixed with this thing, that means water get mixed with oxides of sulfur, nitrogen, carbon dioxide and carbon monoxide, and what happens, these water, they act as a acid rain, they act as a acid rain. So all oxide escaped into the atmosphere, the oxide of nitrogen and sulfur present in the air dissolve in water to produce sulfuric and nitric oxide. That means when these water get mixed with oxides of sulfur and nitrogen, they form a acid, sulfuric acid or nitric acid. That means oxides of sulfur and oxides of nitrogen, when it mixed with hydrogen and oxygen, okay, so they act as an acid, and these two are acids, sulfuric acid and nitric acids, okay. So the rainwater contain dissolved oxides of sulfur and nitrogen is called acid rain. That means the rainwater which contain dissolved oxides of sulfur and oxides of nitrogen is called acid rain. Okay, actually the acid is not raining, it acts as a acid. Okay, the water when mixed with oxides of nitrogen and sulfur, they act as a acid. Okay, so what are the damaging effect of this acid? What are the damaging effect? Damaging effect. Okay, damaging effect means what it causes, means how it causes harm. Actually the acid rain, when it rains, okay, we don't feel much more difference. As for example, we also can be affected with acid rain, but our body, or as our body are covered with clothes, or are covered with we are covered with umbrellas. Okay, when it rains we are not much affected, but if we have any diseases related to skin, that we can react, it can be it can cause more effect to our body. Okay, so acid rain causes damage the nutrition level of leaves of the plant. So it damages the crops mostly. Okay, damaging effect means it damages the crops. The crops, they either are damaged or the nutritive value is, and so what you can say, is lost. Number 1, acid rain promotes corrosion of metallic structures such as railway bridges. Corrosion of metallic structure. That means it damages the metals, especially the railway track. Okay, the railway track, if you see the railway track, it will be rusted. Okay, at some places it get rusted. That is due to either acid rain or the natural cause of rusting. Number 3, acid rain damages the structure made of marble, damage the structure made of marbles. Okay, marble, cement or limestone, mostly limestone. Okay, so the structures or the buildings made of marble, example Taj Mahal. Cements, most of the building are made of cement, they also have a damaging effect of acid rain. Limestone, that means the structures made up of limestones, that are also damaged by acid rains. Okay, so this damaging effect of acid rain on these structures, they are not quick, they are very slow process, that means when it rains, when there is an acid rain, okay, that means the places which have more oxides of nitrogen and sulfur, and when it rains, when rainfall occurs, they act as a acid rain, and slowly this structure will erode. Okay, it is not a quick process, it is a very slow process. Okay, it is a very slow process. So acid rain also harms the aquatic life. Okay, it also harms the aquatic life. Aquatic life is also affected. Aquatic life is also affected. Okay, that means the living organism present on the ponds or rivers, okay, near the area which have a more pollution, that means which have more oxides of sulfur and nitrogen. It's not that acid rain occurs in each and every places. It occurs only at that places where the pollutants of air, where oxides of sulfur and nitrogen is more. Okay, not in each and every places. Then acid rains leads to the fertility of soil. That means it can damage the fertility of the soil. Okay, that means the crops which need the nutritive values, okay, from the soil, that is damaged by the acid rain, and the amount of production will be less, or if the amount of production is not hampered, the nutritive value of that vegetables or fruits will be affected. So this was all about acid. This was all about acid rain. Okay, so we can say that it is not only due to the oxides, these pollutants doesn't only affect air, it also affect water also. So we can say that acid rain is the you can say that it is an example of both air pollution as well as water pollution. So now we will move towards water pollution, as we have discussed about air pollution. So we discussed air pollution, that the contamination of the air by harmful substances which can be both gas and solid are termed as air pollution. So mostly air pollution are caused by the oxides of sulfur, oxide of nitrogen, carbon dioxide and carbon monoxide. Even dust particles, cement particles, okay, dust of cement and asbestos also can cause air pollution. Now let's talk about water pollution. Water pollution. So same will be the definition of water pollution, but in this case it will be said that the contamination of water by harmful substance, okay, the contamination of water or water bodies by harmful substance are termed as water pollution. Okay, are termed as water pollution. As for example, in big cities, rivers and lakes are the source of water. In the last few decades, the quantity of the water in many rivers and lakes have deteriorated and has become unfit for human consumption. That means this contamination can be mostly, not can be, it's mostly due to human factors. Is mostly due to human factors. As for example, as we all know, we need water for our daily life, for drinking, okay, for cooking, for other household works like bathing, etc. Then we also need water for crop production, or watering the agricultural farm or agricultural field, okay, agricultural field. But in times, okay, we have, these are the uses of water. Okay, we use water for many things, and this water we get it from rivers, ponds, lakes and underground water. We are not including seas and oceans, because seas and oceans, they are not fit for consumption. Okay, they are not used due to its salinity. Okay, so we get water from rivers, ponds, lakes and underground water, and they are used for drinking, cooking, bathing, crop production. Okay, that means these water pollution are the pollution in rivers, ponds, lakes and underground water. And how do we pollute it? We pollute it by our activities. That means our waste. As we all know, water is used to wash each and everything. Okay, or for it is mostly used for cleaning. It is mostly used for cleaning. So after cleaning, the water gets dirty and we simply throw it in the rivers or in the ponds or in the lakes. Okay, and if you throw it in the ground, it will get, the underground water will also get affected.